The latest in pop culture and nerd news, an unhealthy obsession with pizza, and more Trek than 12 listeners can handle. Seriously, guys, we could use a few new subscribers, so, tell a friend, please. Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
You take the good, you take the bad, and there you have the Cardassians.
Nailed it.
Cardassians.
Kobe.
He gone.
Or, what's another one? That was the Facts of Life. Give me another one.
Thank you for being a Cardi.
Thank you for being a listener.
There you go.
There you go. Love and podcasting. Love and podcasting. Go together like... Rob is throwing the camera around. Oh, you broke the camera. Anyways, welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians. My name is Nick.
This is Rob. We're doing a lot of things today. Sorry.
This is Joe.
And welcome to our humble podcast where we talk Star Trek today. Let's open up the package right when the podcast starts. That's a great idea.
Well, there's a reason for it.
You have it pre-opened, pre-ready. You come on, bro. Come on. Are you with me on this? We're going to restart. No, I'm kidding. Anyways,
we don't restart.
Thanks for joining us. This is a podcast where we talk about pop culture news and all that kind of good stuff. But we're working our way through a Star Trek review right now. I mean, obviously, why wouldn't we be? We're called Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
Sassy
Star
this morning.
Trek is our
Afternoon.
passion. I am.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not really. 2 episodes we have to review for you today. Galaxy's Child.
Nope.
And Night Terrors.
You got half of that right.
No. Night Terrors and Identity Crisis.
There we
go.
They get there sooner or later.
Look,
Yeah.
they're crap today. So what am I going to do?
It stinks.
It stinks. Well, so we'll get to those in the second half of the episode.
Battle of which episode is worse.
This is true.
I feel like Identity Crisis clearly wins that, but we'll
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll get there.
There's one clear advantage it has, and we'll get there.
I know what you're talking about. Night Terrors?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that is a feather.
Troy and a nightie?
That is a feather in its cap. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's the nightie she wears when she answers the door that one time.
Don't spoil it because we're making Joe watch this live.
That was a good scene when she woke up from her night terror.
Yes, exactly.
Silk.
What
a fabric.
I have night emissions. Is that the same thing?
Yes, it's exactly the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Thanks. So we'll talk about those in the second half of the episode. But as you know, usually the first half we spend some time catching you up on the things we found interesting throughout the week with pop news. So I found nothing interesting.
No?
Yeah, I did. I'm kidding.
George Foreman's dead.
Yeah.
George
the grill guy.
We didn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the boxer, but the grill guy.
Yeah, the grill guy first. First and foremost, the grill guy. Because,
Grill a panini in his honor.
Yeah, the George Foreman Grill was one of the greatest inventions the world had ever seen.
I challenge any of our lists, I challenge anyone to find someone who didn't at some point own a George Foreman Grill.
And I did. College years, right? Early 20s.
Oh, we all had one of those.
Yeah.
And
used the hell out of it, too.
Oh, yeah.
I used it all the freaking time. Used it for everything. And then I just stopped at some point. I don't know why. Because
you realized you could make food in a better way by just taking maybe 5 more minutes?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, all these tools are, made to make things easier, but it requires you to have more crap on your countertop.
But it was
so
takes the grease and fat out of things. Not really.
Not really. And sometimes that's the good part. Like a burger, you kind of want the grease and the fat.
Yeah, chicken. You want whatever you're making to sometimes absorb the juices that it.
Dry grilled chicken sounds good.
Oh my god, it was like shredded chicken with the driest shredded chicken.
It was.
I did chicken just like chicken patty things. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, I did hot dogs on there. I did grilled cheese. I did burgers.
They were great for like if you wanted like a panini, like a grilled cheese or like a
sure.
hot like a
Join us
sandwich.
for all our George Foreman reviews, George Foreman Grill reviews. You know, I will say, like, talking about like home appliances like that you don't really need but are kind of useful. Like mine now is the air fryer.
Yes.
I use my air fryer for almost everything. Almost
Yeah, I still haven't touched
every
ours.
Single. Oh my gosh, fries in an air fryer, crispy, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a good burger in an air fryer. Actually,
See, I don't usually do the meats or anything in an air fryer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's usually just stuff that's frozen, like chicken nuggets, fries,
Perfect. Yep.
tenders.
Yep.
I'll do like mozzarella sticks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't, or reheating. Like
Yep.
it's very good for like if you have reheating.
Yep. He heats it all the way through. He heats it in like no time. But I'm telling you, man, you can make a really good, like a mean pork chop in there.
I know
Like,
people make pork chops, steaks, burger. Like I don't do the raw meat. Cook it in the air fryer.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I
Weirds
do,
you out.
not really. It just I like the other ways of making it better.
Okay. I hear you.
But I do use it I use my air fryer for a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Air
They're just
fryer, man.
enormous. They're just too.
But that's the thing. They're huge, but like I use mine so much that it's worth it. But there's no other kitchen utensil or whatever that, like, I'm not going to have anything else on our counters beyond that. That's it. I mean, we don't even really use our microwave anymore because of the air fryer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the air fryer.
Yeah, I don't. I use my microwave
Popcorn?
for popcorn, and if I'm in a pinch,
Like reheated spaghetti. That's about
just
it.
stuff to quickly reheat.
Yeah, but like other food, I'm going to put in the air fryer to reheat because it
Nice.
reheats it quick and it's delicious and crunchy. Because the microwave makes things soggy.
It does.
Pizza reheated in an air fryer is so good.
Really?
Yes.
It is.
Because you put it in an oven, it doesn't really, it makes the bottom crust a little too hard and the top, it doesn't mix well. But in the air fryer, something about the way that air moves around, man, cooks it perfectly.
I like the reenactment, fellas.
Yeah.
It's great, man.
Yeah.
It's
And the
great.
George Foreman Grill is.
What's a toaster oven or just a toaster? Like that? Oh yeah, there you go.
Pop.
What's a microwave? We got sounds for
Guys,
everything. We got
for
sounds
those of you that are
dating.
new to this, I apologize.
Blender,
Derek, Rachel, Brooke.
NASCAR.
I'm so sorry.
Same sound effects.
So sorry.
Same sound effects.
Folla-do.
Joker 2.
Folla-do.
There you go. There
Oh,
it is. There
Lord.
It is. What was the other one? Joker 2 and then
No, it was the Penguin.
Oh, the pig.
Penguin and Joker 2. All right. So George Foreman died.
Yes.
That's all this.
Listen,
this is really
This is where you come for the proper eulogies.
Yeah. George Foreman, he was a heavyweight boxer, right?
Yes, he was fat as hell. What are you talking
And
about?
he fought Evander Holyfield, but
Yes.
he never fought Tyson, if I recall.
No, he did not fight Tyson.
He would have gotten murdered by Tyson.
He fought Joe Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Oh, yeah,
It was,
because he was one of the first ones to take, that was like
Was Down goes Frazier? I think that was Foreman Frazier.
it might have been. It might have been. Well, there you go. We learned something.
Speaking of things that died, Snow White's at the theaters,
Womp womp.
$44 million is a box office prediction.
which I thought initially. So when you said that earlier, I said, that's not that bad considering modern box office. But then you dropped the budget for the movie on me,
Oof.
which is like 260, you said?
Yeah, I think it was like
270 million. But like, let's put this into their live action reimaginings. So The Lion King opening weekend, 192 million.
not bad.
Beauty and the Beast,
About as much as we make on this show.
Beauty and the Beast, I thought was excellent. I loved it.
170,
I did too. I thought-
175 million. The Jungle Book, I forgot they did a Jungle Book. 103 million.
Really?
Aladdin 91. Alice in Wonderland 116.
Aladdin wasn't bad either.
No.
Maleficent 69.
Yeah, but that wasn't an adaptation.
No,
that was an original.
That was original.
Dumbo 46 million.
Ooh.
People hated Dumbo.
Cruella was 21 million. However, Cruella finished with 86 million at the box office.
Original,
And
not an adaptation.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, yeah.
prequel.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Right?
You're right.
Well, I mean, it's in that franchise, but it's just not. It's not a adaptation of.
All this is to say, goodness gracious, is that a bomb? 44
Yeah.
million. That is less than Dumbo, which
I
was,
liked Cruella.
I did not.
Cruella. I love Emma Stone, though.
Yeah.
I love Emma Stone.
You didn't like
that explains a lot.
I love Emma Stone.
You don't like Emma Stone?
I'm indifferent.
I love her.
I like her too.
I love her so much.
I think she's overrated.
I think you're overrated. I think you're
Well,
terrible. I think you suck. I think you're the worst.
Actually, I think I'm properly rated at suck.
Okay. That's actually probably accurate.
That's the best compliment we can give you.
40, like, that is crazy. Now, okay, here's the question.
That's opening weekend too, right?
Yeah.
Is this because of such poor is this because we're in that area of like the anti-wokeness and all that or whatever? Or is it because Disney is like failing to make proper adaptations? Because I heard
Yes,
a big part of the, like, this had tons of reshoots, I guess.
Yes, because they originally made the 7 dwarfs, which aren't dwarfs, look different, and it pissed people off, so they had to make them look more like original animated movie-ish.
Well, and originally, you know, part of the plot of the movie was that, from what I've heard, you know, the original Cinderella, her with the dwarfs take on the evil queen and then they win. But in this one, that's not what happens. It's Cinderella doing it all, or not, I'm sorry, Snow White. Snow White doing it all on her own. She doesn't need the dwarves. She just goes there and with the power of womanhood saves the world. And I think that's so, like, there's people who are upset about, like, oh my gosh, why are we ruining these films? Let's let them be what they were. I think people are overreacting.
I hate this shit. These movies absolutely suck. They're not needed. Why are we why does it take over $250 million to make a movie like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Why?
That's a good point. That's a great point.
That is a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And there is no way, if you're a Disney executive, you have to know you're not getting that back.
I think
that's its sunk cost.
Does this get green light before Iger took back over, or was the last guy, right?
No, it was after. Oh yeah, it was greenlit before him, because this has been in reshoots and this
has been in purgatory for a long time.
$270 million is an astronomical amount of money for that kind of a film.
Yes. Right. It used to be like your big action blockbusters. Okay, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But what are we doing here? Like, and part of the problem is that they're making it so fantastical that it's harder to relate to. And if they just lowered the budget and made it more down to earth, I think it would be better off. Just
make other movies. Don't make this shit. Nobody needs it. We have the animated stuff. The animated stuff is great. I argue that they could have made more money if they marketed it properly and re-released the animated film.
44 million? I don't know.
In high def?
But
in high
they
def,
would make a better profit.
Yeah, no, but you could spend the money, $10, $15 million
restoring it and
getting it out, putting together like collectible art or something that that will get people in the seats. Say limited time only.
Yeah.
Make tickets, inexpensive. Don't make them $20 to go see the movie, and release it in it's 4K remastered. For a limited time only, back in the theaters.
Yeah,
I bet you can make $40 million.
Probably,
or close to. I guarantee you wouldn't lose $230 million.
But here's the problem. They can write this off, and it's not a big deal. They can that's the same thing with the Wile E. Coyote versus Acme or whatever that they just writ off, and now it was bought by another studio. Or like when they did the Batgirl, right? Like they just write these things. They don't care because they're making so much money. And I think that's part of the problem. When these companies are so big, they don't care if a property fails because they can just write it off at tax season and they don't really take a hit on it. And I think that's part of the problem is it needs to become a point where
I don't know if they
you
can
make a bad film, it hurts you.
I don't know if they can write it off when it goes to the theaters. That's an operating loss.
I think it has to go. I think it has to be pre-released. That's why they killed Batgirl.
Loss.
It's the one that they killed Batgirl when they did.
That doesn't help them. That's a net operating loss. Like you're still losing.
But they figure out a way to spin the taxes where it doesn't actually hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, but they still had to spend that money.
It hurts them more for shareholder value and stock value than it does like financial gains for the company.
Well, yeah, but they still spent those are still operating costs. You still spent $270 million to get that to the theaters.
Right.
You're banking on recouping hopefully a large portion of that. But and when it doesn't happen, then you don't have that capital to put back into new properties, and it's
an absurd number though. Like you think about that, 270 million,
a quarter of a
You're
billion.
basically hoping, like Snow White, you're hoping that'll make $300 million. Okay,
you're hoping that'll be the biggest movie of the year,
and
at that point.
Yeah.
But this is what's so absurd about it, because when I looked at those franchise reimaginings, okay, Lion King made $500 million. It made $543 million lifetime. Lion King did, okay?
A lifetime.
Lifetime.
That includes...
And Lion King is much more, I think that's just a much more popular property than Snow White.
At this point, yes.
Probably,
Plus it didn't have its own stars bashing it. Rachel
Ziegler, like talking about the princess being...
Yeah, because they're all lions.
Well, and they originally, like, that's some scenes they reshot. Like,
Thanks, Dan Campbell.
They didn't have a scene of the prince kissing her to wake her up. They had to reshoot that and add that because of fan backlash, because, you know, they can't have any... Like, I think this is what
we can't have something that happened in the movie happen in the movie.
Yeah,
God forbid.
I think this is what frustrates me, is, like, I think Disney really struggles to understand you can have strong female characters without destroying a male character at their expense. Just like movies can have a strong male character without making the female character an idiot too. Like they can all be strong characters. They don't have to all be...
It's not like the prince went to second base and like felt her up.
No. But the whole point of that...
They cut that part out.
Oh.
That's in the...
That's funny because they would have had to animate it.
Yeah.
It's just one guy drawing him for him, feeling her up.
That's in the director's cut,
Listen,
man.
Steve, we got to cut that out.
Steve, that can't go
We
in
can't
there.
put that in the movie.
I know you spent a lot of time
Yeah,
on this.
Walt comes over like, what are we doing
Very detailed.
here?
Very detailed drawing. I like it.
Yeah.
Looks like you spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I had to make sure I got it right, boss.
Yeah, we just can't use it.
Can't use it. It's unusable.
Sorry.
It's unusable. Can't do it. But, I'm kind of okay with Snow White going down here because Disney is a little full of itself anymore. And I kind of like to see Disney suffering. I do. I hate to say it.
Says the owner of a Tesla.
I got stickers on it now. I got stickers on it that say no to Elon and anti-Elon Tesla Club.
Say no to Elon.
Say no.
Except for me. I said
Except
yes.
for me.
Once you already get it, you can't do anything
He was a
about it.
weirdo back then, too.
I know, but he wasn't like psychotic yet.
I don't know. I don't know.
it's not
He
like-
wasn't slashing people's like.
It's not like it's not like you've had the car 12 years.
Shut up! I hate you guys. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. Screw you guys. I hate you guys. A couple other quick things I want to talk about. We probably got to move on to Star Trek pretty soon here.
I got one thing.
Electric State came out on Netflix. The Russo brothers made that with Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt.
It has me interested.
$343 million to make that.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There he goes.
Okay.
Poke the bear.
I watched it last night with my family. It's a 6 out of 10. It's okay.
You're going to need to watch that another 342 million times.
This is what I don't get. How is Netflix thinking they're going to make like 343 million? Do you really think you're going to get that many new subscribers to offset that movie? Like,
No.
This is absurd what is happening.
And Netflix already operates in a massive hole.
They
Yeah.
do too. And I know
Yeah.
Apple TV does. They lost $1 billion off of Apple TV last
So
year.
maybe let's cut out the streaming networks, guys.
Maybe streaming doesn't work. And
Maybe
we
not.
need
Let's go put the things back in theaters.
Let's go.
Apple TV is the WNBA of Apple.
Yeah, $1 billion they lost. But like Apple TV has really good stuff, right? Apple TV has several.
Doesn't matter if no one's watching if it's
Yeah.
not worth it.
They're watching it, but the production value is so freaking high.
That's a
Again,
movie,
this
right?
Is the issue.
Electric,
Severance?
no,
Electric State. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's set in an alternate
how-
1990s.
Someone explain to me how that costs $340
Tons of
billion or $1 million.
Tons of CGI, and it's actually
Is it 8 hours long?
Pretty solid CGI. No,
Oh, is it?
no, it was pretty solid.
What was it?
Hey, for that budget, it better be.
It better be right.
Just practical effects, man.
But it was a movie that didn't really say anything. I don't know. It didn't need to be made. It's not that great of a movie.
Honestly, I
Hard
was
pass.
interested in it until you told me the budget. It just for no other reason other than it costs too much goddamn money to make. I don't want to watch it.
343 million. I mean, it blows my mind.
What? This isn't sustainable.
No,
Something's going to happen, right? I mean, something has to happen.
Well-
there, one of either Disney or Netflix or Hulu or Apple or something's going to happen to just recalibrate what we're doing with entertainment. because this is not sustainable.
Well, and I hate the fact that they blame people, and they're like, well, people just don't go to the theaters anymore. We do if there's a worthwhile film.
Yeah.
If there's something worth seeing, if there's something that's really well
Barbenheimer.
done.
Well, plus,
yes,
I have to wait 3 months, or not even that. Wicked's already out on Peacock. I don't have to wait as long for it to come out at my house now. So I'm just going to wait the month. That was my theory on Brave New World, or whatever it's called, for the Captain America movie.
They haven't even made $200 million yet.
I'll just sit at home and wait for it, as opposed to I don't really want to wait 6 months for it.
Yeah, you had to wait. It was the theater. It was out in the theater for a few months, and then you had to wait at least another 4 to 8 ish months, depending on the movie.
Yeah, when it got out of the theaters, so we had to wait that time.
After, and then it would come on home video. Yeah. Sometimes they would even in between that time re-release it in the theater.
Yeah,
yeah,
because it did so well, or because it was somehow it got released in March and it did gangbusters because it was a good movie, and they re-release it for the summer, for the summer wave or the holiday wave.
Yeah, but I think you're right in saying something's got to give.
There's got to be some sort of bubble.
There's got to be some recalibration where film is just going to crash, and I think it's going to be really bad for a while. I think we're going to get crappy movies and all that.
Section 31.
But I'm just saying, I think they're going to get extreme. Right now, we're getting to the point where the only things that are released are sequels and, remakes, but they're spending a fortune on them. I think it's going to go the opposite direction where they're we're only doing original properties. Our budget is $100 million max.
Yeah.
Right?
The two movies we discussed in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Electric State.
Over $600 million to make.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Whereas I just saw...
and I don't know with you can't really get the numbers clearly for Netflix. Right. I don't know what the streaming numbers are for that, but we know that we've made 40 of that back.
Right.
So we're down 520 plus whatever. Right. I don't think Electric Company or Electric Boogaloo or whatever.
Electric State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last weekend I just saw Mickey 17. That one's budget was $118 million. It's by the same guy who did Parasite.
That was a good movie,
and it's at $95 million at the box office right now.
Bam, not bad.
But yeah, your losses are not that bad, right?
Well,
and it's going to make it up.
Yeah, it'll make it up, but you'll be in a net profit.
Yeah,
at some point,
exactly. And it was not a great movie. Don't get me wrong. It's probably 6.5 out of 10 for me. But in the same sense, they're not taking a $200 million loss on the film, right?
Yeah,
it's breaking even. But if things go well, maybe if the movie has good word of mouth,
you might make 30, $40 million.
Exactly. We need to go back to those days. All right, Rob, what did you have?
I was trying to find out how much John Wick, how much it costs to make that.
John Wick 4.
I couldn't find it. $100 million to make John Wick 4, which is surprising to me. Okay. I don't think the first one took very much. And how good was that movie? Right?
Yeah.
So Jordy has one of these. And so this was shipped to us by Derek from the cruise.
Nice.
To Nick and I, because he had a couple extra larges. So he shipped those to us, and Joe already had one. So we got
the bar run shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Thanks, Derek.
So on day two of the cruise,
that bar run was nuts. We got drunk.
I believe, was it Derek that put it together, or was it Cassie that put it? I think Cassie put it together.
Derek made the shirts.
Derek made the shirts. And it was the Quarks Deck 6 bar crawl.
Yes.
So we started at one bar and we crawled to, I think, 5 or 6 of the bars across the ship. And Derek made these shirts. It looks like the Quarks bar.
And it says, come to Quarks. Quarks is fun. Come right now. Don't walk, run. The little saying he had.
So, yeah.
So he's kind enough to ship those over to us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
John Wick's budget was $20 million. It made $86 million at the box office.
And that's just domestic, right?
Yeah.
That was the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. First one.
$20 million. Quality.
$20 million.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yep.
You can do it.
Oh my gosh.
Second one's budget, $40 million. Box office, $170 million.
Ooh.
Third one's budget was $75 million. Made $327 million.
Jesus. See?
Just stop there, though.
Fourth one was $100 million. Box office, $440 million.
Why stop there?
I mean, stop with increasing the budget.
Oh,
You can do it and lower and keep the budget around.
Yeah.
$100 million is probably a good budget. Stick there. Stick there.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's probably because I bet Keanu Reeves got paid more for each film.
Probably. And I think they increased the guest stars.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne, so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can make if you can quadruple your money on a film, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like, could you imagine if Snow White made $1 billion? They would have to make over $1 billion. They'd make like 1.2 billion to quadruple their money.
Yeah, exactly. It's not happening.
It would be like the greatest.
It'd be the greatest film ever made, right?
I think some companies need to look at to your point, let's simplify and see what we can do from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Sure.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Does it have to be these 2 episodes?
These 2 episodes are rough.
It does have to be these 2 episodes. So first of all, we got the first episode is Night Terrors. The Enterprise is looking for the USS Britannia, Federation starship. They find the ship, and the whole crew is dead. Turns out they killed each other. There's one person alive, and it's whatchamacallit, Betazoid.
Betazoid.
What he said.
Yeah. All right. And they don't know why this is happening. And now it starts happening to the Enterprise crew. It turns out they can't sleep properly. They're not getting REM sleep. So that's them in the corner. That's them in the spotlight.
Not getting their proper sleep.
Worf lost his religion, though.
Yeah. Yes, he did. So they're not getting enough REM in their life, and they're really sad about it. And I have an orange crush on
If You Believe.
Yeah. Oh, so
REM has 2 songs about Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, Man on the Moon, and what's the other one?
Oof.
You suck.
Yeah.
You don't know it. I
do.
I don't know it.
Man on the Moon and hold on. Stand by. You continue your thing.
Kaufman on the Moon?
No.
Kaufman off the planet? All right. So, the Enterprise is starting to have the issue where the crew is starting to get really ornery and fight with each other. Picard starts hallucinating. They all start hallucinating. It's not good. They basically put Data in charge of the ship, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Eventually, it turns out that there's something on the other side of this pulsar. Something else that's stuck.
Aliens.
Aliens on the other side. They're stuck too, and the Enterprise is stuck. So they launch a proton burst or whatever from the deflector, and it shoots them off into space.
When you put it like that, it sounds dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they're free from this pulsar, which allows them to get their sleep. And the episode ends with Data ordering the whole crew to go to sleep and take a nap.
The Great Beyond. It's from the Man on the Moon soundtrack.
The Great Beyond. Okay. So here's the thing. You know what this episode kind of reminded me of? Do you remember the movie back in the day, Event Horizon?
I do remember
Yes.
Event Horizon.
Kind of in a weird way that, right, where they went through the event horizon of a black hole, and they basically opened a portal to hell, and the crew loses it, and they all kill each other and everything.
Yeah.
And that was a cool movie, actually.
Yeah.
It's very underappreciated. This kind of reminded me of it, but with really bad writing.
Yeah, and bad acting.
Very bad acting.
Where are you?
And her floating was super bad.
Oh, my God.
Her floating through the sky was not great.
There's some comments out there, if you find it on Fandom, where Frank just shit on all over this episode.
Oh, yeah?
Did he direct it? Who directed this episode?
Walter.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
No,
I'm
not
assuming
Walter.
he retired immediately after.
Yeah, he just gave up on life. He shot himself, actually.
He unalived himself.
Yeah, unalived
The
himself.
script was by Jerry Taylor and Pamela Douglas.
I blame Pamela.
Les
You can't blame
Landau.
that. I don't want to blame Jerry.
Yeah.
Les Landau.
Too soon. Les Landau directed a few DS9 episodes, so he stuck around for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, so
I don't even know where to go with this. Like, I was watching this episode going, there's a cool concept there. Why is my door opening?
I don't know, but why? It felt like you were saying that as part of the.
Oh, yeah. Someone said they're going to be in the bathtub.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know.
That's great. There's a really cool concept here, like this initial finding this other ship where they all killed each other.
There's a
like,
great there's a great concept in here.
And then the crew, like following the crew starting to break down, would be
We got a guest appearance.
We got a guest appearance by Sydney. She's alive. Yeah, it's Sydney on an iPhone. It's through FaceTime. Hi, Sydney. Sorry.
Hi.
Sorry,
guys.
Sorry, listeners. We were distracted by seeing Sydney. So, I mean, like, I felt like this could have been good if they focused primarily on the crew breaking down. like, and them getting like more and more
slow mental breakdown of like
right
the slow descent into insanity.
Yeah, like that happening. Like I felt like that could have been really good, but they didn't really focus on that at all.
No, they focused more on floating through dreams.
I can't see.
Where are you?
Where are you? And I guess Martina Sirtis has an extreme fear of heights, so she was not happy of this episode because she had to be strapped into a flying harness.
They couldn't put her on like a little like a stool, and
I mean that's what it looked like, didn't it?
It looked bad.
It looked really bad.
It was quite bad.
It was really bad CG, or not even CGI. I don't even know how they do it.
Sorry about that, guys. A family issue popped up.
Yeah, well, it happens. Family issues happen. But I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, this was supposed to be a heavy Deanna Troi episode, right?
It was.
But they didn't do a good job with it. Like, they didn't really make
No,
it,
I mean, you didn't say it had to be good. It was heavy, and it was a Deanna Troi episode for sure.
And it was basically like, she's the only one who can still dream, but it's nightmares. That would suck.
Yeah, that would suck. Like, you try to go to sleep, but you're kind of afraid to.
And then
Freddy Krueger, anyone?
I know.
Man, that movie messed me up as a little kid. I used to hate going to sleep some nights because I'd have
You'll
nightmares.
die. He'll kill you.
Kill me in my sleep, man. Oh gosh, that was creepy.
Candyman got me.
Oh, the Candyman can. Oh, that's the wrong movie.
That's the wrong movie.
I've been seeing Tony Todd in a lot of random things recently.
Me too.
I'm like, oh, he's in this. He was in he was in like an episode of, what was it? No, he's in Lean on Me.
Okay.
A young Tony Todd is in Lean on Me. I'm like, oh yeah, he worked in the school.
He's young, but Tony Todd still.
Mm-hmm. I think he was in an episode.
Can we talk about how bad Crusher's... So when I was a kid, I was an idiot because I never realized that Crusher was wearing a wig. And these two episodes, her wig was terrible.
You know, that's the funny thing is I don't pay particular attention to details like that, so I don't really notice it. But like when I do try to pay attention, yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, it's bad.
But it doesn't take me out of it because that's not my focus.
Well, just for a split second it did where I'm like, oh, that is bad.
I hear you. Yeah. I would have really loved to see there be more of a conflict with the crew. I would have loved to have seen Riker really challenge Picard for command of the ship and like lock him out of the bridge. And it would have been fun to see them really start to go down that rabbit hole. But all we got was the one fight in 10 Forward where obviously Guinan's perfectly fine.
And O'Brien, of course.
Yeah, O'Brien's
involved in if Riker, if you can equivalate Riker to sleeping with women, O'Brien's getting in a fight somewhere.
O'Brien's getting in a fight and getting in a fight with his wife too.
Yeah.
Because he gets into his fight a lot in DS9. Yeah. Man, they have an unhappy marriage, don't they?
Right out the gate, too.
Right out the gate, he's like, you cheating on me, B?
Yeah. You'll find any excuse to go over to Steve's house.
Yeah. And she's like, no, not any excuse, just to bang him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to. It's strictly physical.
Oh, gosh.
But he has so many plants and flowers.
I know. I love his botany.
Yeah.
Have you seen his
She
botany?
wanted to fertilize those plants.
She wanted to call him Plant Daddy.
Jesus. Again, if you're new, I apologize. If you've been through all this, I still apologize.
So Worf's breakdown where he goes to his office or goes to his quarters and tries to stab himself. What do you feel? I feel fear. Okay, boo-hoo. Klingons can feel fear.
You can feel fear, but I think their feeling fear usually has some kind of substance to it. Just to feel fear sitting on your bridge console.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's something that Klingon would deal well with.
But I do love the fact that she calls security for him, and then when he decides not to stab himself immediately, she's like, "Nah, you're good now. You can leave."
Yeah.
How about we still stay? How about we take the knife from the strong Klingon
I thought
guy?
that was a bit quick to be like, "No, he's good.
He's good.
We're good.
He's fine. He just
No, he was going to stab him. He was going to kill himself. 8 seconds ago, he was going to kill himself. But then,
I talked him down
because
I told him fear is okay.
I didn't take the knife away.
I did.
The knife was still by his side, mind you. He's still, but she's like, no, he's good now. He just didn't do it this time.
Yeah, can we talk about how weapons are just readily available? Worf's going to stab himself. Guinan breaks out this rifle. She's like, I got this on Magus 3, and that was setting 1. She's like, she could have blasted them all to hell, and she's just walking around with her weapons.
That it was like an old school bar fight. Like it just brawl breaks out.
Yeah.
She's just like, I'll shoot this whole fucking place up if you don't go.
And we watched it for St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
Yeah, this week.
That's true. That is true. The Irish man gets into a fight in a bar. Oh. Wow.
Wow, we got some stereotyping going on here.
Never seen that before, Star Trek. How dare you? I love this image. I found an image, and I'm going to have to send it to you. Oh, no, it's not popping up. But it's an image of the stunt double practicing the flight.
Oh, the flight on the blue screen?
It's freaking hilarious.
God.
It looks so tacky. I mean, you can see the small version of it. For some reason, I can't get it to blow up. Ooh.
Nick can't get it up as usual.
Ooh.
Where are you?
The picture isn't working. That sucks.
I felt bad because I felt bad just laughing when she delivered that line because I don't know if there's anything you can do with it, but it sounded just bad.
I was watching this by myself.
I'm sorry.
And
were you scared? Did you have nightmares too?
Well, when she started floating, I wish there was someone with me. I was like, because I wanted to be like, you're seeing this, right? Like someone, I'm not hallucinating. This is shit, right?
It is.
I will say they did a good job inside the kind of impromptu morgue with Crusher.
Oh, that was a good scene where the bodies sat up. Yeah.
I think they executed that particular scene rather well.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
They blew their budget.
Yeah, right there.
Well,
$270 million.
You know what's great about that scene, though? Nothing really has to happen.
Yeah, it's
you
quiet.
just have to show them sitting up, right?
Yeah.
They're not moving. They're just sitting up. As opposed to her floating, going, where are you? 2 moons, 1 star, or whatever
Was it Batman saying it?
I know. I don't know. It was
I was like, can you speak up a little bit? I can't really hear you.
So it turns out it was aliens on
Yes.
the other side.
On the other side of whatever that rift was.
Okay. And they were stuck too.
Yes.
And they wanted to be unstuck.
Yeah.
Because the same thing was happening to them, or they caused it to happen to these. That's what I didn't understand.
The same thing happened to them. So they got stuck in the only way.
We stuck too.
we're killing each other. You're killing each other. Let's just blast each other, and then we won't kill each other anymore. That's
blasting.
They went blasting. We're just blasting.
Blow your load, Enterprise.
It was like that's what's so funny. Like it's a good concept, but poorly delivered.
Yes, I think Jerry Taylor said she wrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it and just never worked. Tech
Republic, some thing put this as the 5 worst Star Trek episodes of ever, or Next Generation episode ever. Frakes referred to it as a yawner too.
That's a bummer. It's a bummer of an episode.
But here's the thing:
Deanna Troi in silk.
I don't think it's as bad as the second episode.
See, I don't know. I think this episode was worse.
Should we move on to the second episode here?
Yeah, because they both stink, and I want to tell you guys which one I think stinks more.
Yeah.
So, Identity Crisis. Geordi's old friend and former crewmate shows up because they were on a mission together years ago on another ship, and all the crew members have gone missing. They've all gone back to this planet where they did an away mission before, and they're scared because is it going to start happening to them? And they're reviewing why this happened, and Geordi's like looking at the data, and he sees like a there's a person there, but not there all at the same time. Like they see that there's someone else there in the holodeck with him when he's reenacting the scene, but he can't figure out what it is. While this is happening, that Lieutenant Commander Letjin, or whatever her name is, who showed up, she disappears to the planet, and she starts transforming. She starts transforming into an alien creature because of this time at the planet. And she's slowly becoming more and more alien-like, and now this is starting to happen to Geordi too. They are becoming these aliens. In the meanwhile, the doctor finds a cure for this woman, starts transferring her back to a human, but Geordi has escaped the ship. He goes back to the planet. Turns out that there's an alien species there, and they basically hide, like they camouflage themselves so they blend in with the forest, and you can't see them at all, but the way they propagate is by basically turning someone else into them. That's how they create their species. So the one lady, the lieutenant, goes down to the planet and says, Geordi, if you're still in there, I love you. And
she didn't say that.
And Geordi is an alien creature, and he's like, oh no. And then she's like, come back to daddy. And Geordi comes back to daddy. And then Geordi is transferred back, and he's helpful. Then they put a beacon on the planet saying, stay away from this planet. You don't want to be mutated.
They just put a sign, bad planet.
Bad daddy planet. It's turning everyone to daddy.
See, another episode was an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
But the execution was better, just not as good.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I want to start off with the highlights, and then we can really...
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good.
No, I thought this episode had more potential in the cosplay realm, because I thought those cool light suits were fun.
They were kind of cool, yeah.
It reminded me of like back in the day when they would put like sports players or basketball players or football players in those suits to like animate them for video games.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be amazing.
But I was like, oh, that would be a cool, like you could cosplay that.
Absolutely, you could. And just like the Bajorans we saw at Galaxy Con, people are going to see that.
And it would be very niche.
Yes, it would.
Because it would be from one of the worst episodes you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Here's a couple interesting
things
I want to give you about this episode. Forbes magazine noted this as one of the alternative top 10 episodes of all time on Star Trek. Wired magazine says this was one of the best episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. In 2022, Screen Rant ranked this the 6th most frightening episode of Star Trek.
Frightening?
Ever. Yeah. Calling it a terrifying episode.
Because it was bad?
Idea that your body's transforming and you can't stop it and you're becoming another creature. That's like District 9 stuff. That was a good movie.
God, that movie was so good.
So good!
Have you ever seen District 9?
I have not.
God damn it.
Copley, oh my gosh. He was so good in that.
That movie was so good.
And that director is remaking, what is he remaking? They just announced it the other day. He's remaking a movie.
Did they ever release District 10?
No.
No.
They wanted to, but it never happened.
District 9 was so good.
District 9 is such a good film. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
One of these days.
Neil Blomkamp is the director. I know you don't like sci-fi, which is weird because you like Star Trek. But it is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
Well, like I these episodes lean into I don't like sci-fi, so it's kind of hard for me to get into these episodes.
Yeah.
Overall, but it has to be really, really well executed for me to enjoy it, and these weren't really well executed.
I thought I was just bummed out because watching the episodes, you can see like the concepts are there.
The concepts are there.
They are just big time whiffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're swings and misses.
Yeah. Well, and I like that they had to crank out 26 episodes. So they couldn't get the script and go, this is going to go bad. They had to just execute.
Yeah.
But, yeah. This idea that they're basically writing 3 weeks ahead. So they're filming this episode and they're writing for what they're going to film in 3 weeks. Like, what are you supposed to do?
I appreciate the chances they took.
Yeah, I
on
like
these
a big
episodes
swing
because they were big swings.
They were original, right?
Maybe given a little more time to kind of flesh out the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could have been pretty good episodes.
Yes.
But were they?
No.
And
they missed big time.
Because there are some really good. I like the concept, first of all, of like this idea that your body is changing and you can't control it.
Yeah, and I like the concept.
When I went through the changes when I was 14, that was rough.
14 or 40?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going through the changes now.
Yeah.
I'm going through the menses.
Menses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right now.
But I like the concept of the way the alien species procreates is by using another body.
And they basically insert like
a
microorganism STI into them.
Yeah.
STD.
Yeah, a microorganism.
So that's a cool concept as well.
That's a very cool concept.
I had a real issue with how much time they took with Geordi analyzing the video footage and going into it. It just felt like it took a lot of time.
It was very slow
moving.
Yes.
Like if this was a movie or you had a 2-part episode and you needed to stretch something out a little bit, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But that took way too long.
Well, think about it. This was an episode. There was no B plot.
No, there wasn't. You're
this
right.
Was it. That's why. I mean, that's part of the problem. There was nothing to flesh this episode out more. Right.
I don't know.
But
the whole time he was in Holodeck 3, that felt like a way too long.
But I didn't think that was a bad scene, though. At the same time, like
but it was very
what you're saying, like
methodical and like
Remove this person.
Yeah, adding stuff and removing stuff. And it was like zooming in on the shadow and then zooming out and then zooming back in. And it just took too long for them to walk us to where they wanted us to go.
But there are things I appreciate about that, because if I look at current shows, they rush to those things and they just pop out of nowhere, as opposed to this actually took an investigation approach. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I kind of appreciate them taking the methodical approach to it. Yeah. And not dumbing it down for modern audience.
Yeah,
and in the 80s and in the 90s, you probably get away with that. Actually, it was probably like, oh, this is interesting. But we're so programmed now to get to the point.
Well, not me, but I'm not pro.
All of us are, man.
It just felt like it was taking a long time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what am I supposed to be looking for? Oh, I see. I see it, and now it's like, oh, it's a shadow. Now we got to figure out what the shadow is. Now let's remove each individual person.
And he was changing, and had he already had flipper hands by hand?
Before he went into Holodeck 3.
He had flipper hands.
No, it's after.
It was after, but it was during. But like he started feeling his hands started feeling different,
tingling down there
before he went into Holodeck 3, because he gave that look like, what do I do? Do I go in the holodeck and follow my, follow my investigation,
or do I go
to Crusher? And because she said, as soon as you start feeling different, you let me know.
And he should have went to Crusher, because that would have solved the problem right there.
But he didn't.
He was like, I'm out.
I mean, so again, like, a good idea. I love
typical stubborn male.
I love the fear.
Well, it's like when you're in school and you start to get an erection, you got to get the thing out,
get the book out,
cover it up.
Just don't.
What
wear
do they do now?
Run.
They don't have books in school anymore.
And Chromebooks.
And a lot of kids wear those like sweatpants too.
I know exactly.
You don't have those. You don't have that stiffer material.
Yeah.
To really block it.
I got Chromebooks. They're good.
I've actually warned my son about that too. I'm like, bro, you might not want to do all sweatpants. And he's like, why? I'm like, trust me, bro.
That's boner time. You don't want.
Trust me, you don't want that.
Listen.
You don't want that. Okay, so going back
to talk on keeping it with the Cardassians.
There's a couple other things that I did like. First of all, the idea, before we even know what's going on, that people from their crew are going missing and they're just disappearing. Like the one guy was a family guy and he disappeared, and then his ship blows up in the atmosphere, right? Like they can't reason with him. That's a cool idea.
Yes.
And how it feels like it's coming for them next. The lieutenant commander freaking out. Geordi freaking out a little bit. Like that was a cool kind of plot. They didn't really follow up with that. I did like the way like she interacted with Geordi. It felt like she could have been a love interest, and in fact, at one point, it was originally designed that way.
But they changed that because
he kept screwing up with his love interest. But I'm like, you could have had them be in a relationship before, and it just they went their separate ways.
I appreciate the platonic relationship, because it's too often we go to that romantic relationship.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that.
A guy, too often it's like, okay, a male and a female are working together. Boom, they're going to bang.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It gets lazy to me.
Yeah, but when she calls him daddy at the end, I mean, like, friends don't call each other daddy, do they?
We do.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a good point.
Mostly when the cameras are off.
Actually,
and on cruise ships.
She doesn't call him daddy. She says, come to daddy.
Yeah.
And that's when he comes to her. So,
that's when he was
come to Butthead.
Yeah. Not a lot of good quotes in this episode either. There's not I don't know. There's not a lot of good stuff in here.
When the holodecks are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Yeah, I saw Geordi go on the holodeck. I'm like, dude.
Not again.
Dude, you got busted last week. What are you doing?
Yeah. Come on.
Can you imagine when this came out? Let's say they aired one week after another, and these are the 2 episodes you got right in a row. In 1991.
Yeah, but at least in 91, you had a week to digest the garbage you just watched.
Hopefully they got the break for like Easter, where it's like 2 weeks in between episodes.
Yeah.
In 91, they would have liked this. Though I feel like this.
Well, apparently they like it right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's your opinion on these episodes? 734-494-0980.
I think that's my big problem with both of these episodes. Nothing really left me. Well, especially the first one. There's no bigger question there. Right?
No bigger question.
Don't go by pulsars.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll stay away from pulsars. Second episode is like I feel like a question could have been like, who are we at the heart of, like, even if we go through these massive changes, we're still the same person. Like, that's how Geordi knew to come back to her. He trusted her. He knew her. Like, they could have done something more with that. Like, he could have been completely the alien, but still came back to her. Because
he pretty much was
innate in him. Yeah, he was kind of, because he was able to.
He was in that
camouflage,
suit, but
right?
like he was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's good stuff.
It's just
they mostly whiffed.
They mostly did whiff. And it's so funny because when we were going to this one, when the Night Terrors one, I remember thinking to myself, I think that one's a good episode if I remember. And then we watched it. I'm like, no.
See, I knew it wasn't a good episode. I just didn't realize how much I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not a good episode. It was kind of a letdown. Not kind of.
Some weeks you get 2 stinkers.
Yeah, what can you do?
It be like that sometimes.
Sometimes
it does be like that, especially with Next Generation. And I'm really hoping we start getting some better ones here because we're getting towards the end of the season and we're not there. But next week we got the Nth Degree and Cupid.
Cupid's fun.
So we got those. A Q episode.
Is it Cupid?
Yeah, like QPID. Yeah.
We'll have to do listener feedback next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we will. We'll do some.
Yeah.
Oh, and then after that we got the Drumhead.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one, actually, if I remember. I feel like it is.
Drumhead.
I think it is.
Half a Life, The Host, The Mind's Eye, In Theory, and Redemption. Oh my gosh, we're getting there. We're getting there to the end of season 4.
Episode 25,000 of season 4.
Oh my gosh. Let's go to rating these episodes. Night Terrors.
1.
1 for Joe.
No. Not much more. I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
I gave it a 3. And I gave it an extra point.
Deanna Troi and Silk.
Yep. That gives it a point.
I'll go with 3.
It stinks.
Right. Okay. And then we have Identity Crisis. I give this one a 4.
I give this one a 3.5. A full point more.
I'll go with 3.5.
3.5. Okay, guys. This is not good. We're trending downward here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, listen. We can only use the source material.
That's right.
Rob, you're barely averaging a 6 for season 4. A 6 overall. Which is actually less than season 3. Season 3, you're 6.4 overall. And you're pretty low. Seasons 1 and 2, you were 4s. And we were all 4s.
I have a feeling it'll start to get up.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I have a feeling this will be like me wearing sweatpants. And it'll go up in
But
rating.
just see the bulge when it comes out when the redemption hits.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
The end of season 4.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Rigid season 4 boner.
We'll get there, boys. We'll get there. But there we go. I mean, there's our Star Trek for the day. This is going to be the shortest episode we've had in a very long time.
There was a lot going on this weekend, so we still found our window of time, which is good.
We did.
We've been working on a lot of keeping the Cardassian stuff behind the scenes, so there's that.
Which is why you want to be on our Patreon.
You do. Patreon.com/keeping up with the Cardassians.
$2 tier, baby.
$2.
And
Good
$5.
deal.
But there's $5, but 2.
That's only if you love us.
Just give us $2.
If you just like us, $2.
Look, they don't call me $2 Chuck for nothing.
Oh,
that's okay. It's okay that this was a shorter episode. I'm happy because these episodes stink, and there wasn't too much that we were really missing.
We're
with
not
them.
missing a lot. No.
So
no, we're really not. So it's all right.
it's not like either of these episodes you can analyze for 25 minutes each.
no. There wasn't any
Sometimes
pop culture news either.
No, George Foreman died.
Yeah.
God grill his soul.
Well, thanks for tuning in for all your George Foreman Grill news, box office news, and Star Trek news. We love y'all. This was Nick. Thanks for keeping up.
Is Rob.
This was Joe.
Thanks for keeping up with us, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.